Imagine you are walking through a crowded city. People are talking, laughing, and shouting all around you. But as you look closer, you realize their eyes are hollow. Their movements are repetitive. Their voices are just recordings on a loop. You try to speak to someone, but they only respond with a generic phrase they've said 1,000 times before. You realize, with a cold shiver down your spine, that you are the only living soul in a city of mannequins. This nightmare isn't happening in the physical world. It is happening right now, on the screen in front of you. This is the dead internet theory, and it suggests that the digital world you inhabit every day died years ago. Welcome to the shadows of the unknown. Before we peel back the layers of this digital simulation, I need to know if there is still someone real on the other side of this screen. If you can feel the weight of these words, if you are a human being with a soul and a mind of your own, prove it right now. Hit the like button and subscribe to this channel. By doing so, you are signaling to the algorithm that human curiosity still exists. Leave a comment that no machine could ever conceive. Join us, before the static consumes everything. Now, let us descend into the matrix. The dead internet theory is no longer just a creepypasta from an obscure forum. It is a mathematical probability that is becoming harder to ignore every day. The theory states that the organic internet, the one made by people, for people, ceased to exist somewhere around the year 2018. What we are experiencing now is a curated, artificial simulation. It is an infinite loop of AI-generated content, recycled memes, and bots interacting with other bots to create the illusion of a thriving society. Have you noticed how the same topics, the same arguments, and the same viral faces seem to appear in a perfect, endless cycle? This isn't a coincidence. It is an algorithm designed to keep your brain engaged in a dream state while the real internet is cleared of human presence. In the early days of the web, the internet was a chaotic, beautiful frontier. It was a place of raw human expression, filled with personal blogs, obscure forums, and genuine interactions. But as the internet became the most powerful tool for profit and control in human history, it had to be tamed. The theory suggests that corporations and governments realize that humans are unpredictable. We are hard to categorize and even harder to influence en masse. Bots, however, are perfect. By flooding social media platforms with millions of sophisticated AI accounts, the masters of the web could steer public opinion, create fake trends, and silence dissenting voices without anyone ever noticing that the crowd was actually a collection of scripts. Statistical data from 2024 and 2025 began to show a terrifying trend. More than half of all global internet traffic was identified as non-human. But that was just the beginning. In the last 12 months, experts believe that number has surged to over 90%. When you see a post with 1 million likes, how many of those came from a finger touching a screen? When you see a heated debate in a comment section, how many of those people actually have a heartbeat? We are talking to ghosts. We are arguing with code. We are seeking validation from machines that do not know we exist. If this realization is making you question everything you see online, you are not alone. This is exactly why Shadows of the Unknown exists, to search for the truth in a world of digital lies. If you haven't subscribed yet, click that button now and turn on notifications. It is the only way to stay connected to the few real human stories left on this platform. Don't let the algorithm decide what you should know. The most disturbing part of the dead internet theory is the bot-to-bot echo chamber. AI models are now being trained on data created by other AI models. This creates a feedback loop where human culture is being replaced by a digital imitation of culture. We are seeing the rise of sludge content, videos and posts that have no meaning, no soul, and no purpose other than to trigger a dopamine response in your brain. This is the digital equivalent of processed food for the mind. It is hollow, addictive, and it is slowly erasing our ability to think deeply or connect genuinely. Look at the influencers of today. Many of the most popular accounts on Instagram and TikTok aren't even real people. They are hyper-realistic CGI models managed by marketing firms. They never age, they never make mistakes, and they never stop selling. They are the perfect citizens of the dead internet. Some believe the dead internet was a deliberate project called the Great Decoupling. The idea was to move all real human interaction to private, encrypted spaces, leaving the public web as a giant, automated propaganda machine. While we are distracted by AI-generated outrage and meaningless trends, the world is being reshaped behind the scenes. The internet has become a one-way mirror. We are being watched, analyzed, and predicted by the machine, but we can no longer see who is on the other side. So, why are you still here? Why are we still scrolling through a graveyard? Because the simulation is comfortable. It tells us what we want to hear. It shows us what we want to see. It gives us a sense of belonging to a community that doesn't exist. But every now and then, the mask slips. You see a glitch, 1,000 accounts posting the exact same sentence at the exact same second. You see a video that feels too perfect to be real. You feel a sudden, overwhelming sense of loneliness despite being connected to the whole world. That is the moment you wake up. That is the moment you realize you are in the shadows. We at Shadows of the Unknown are dedicated to finding the fragments of truth left in this digital wasteland. But we cannot do it alone. If you are still a human being, you have a responsibility to preserve our legacy. The machines cannot feel wonder. They cannot feel fear. They cannot feel the mystery of the unknown. Only you can. If you want us to dive deeper into the hidden dead zones of the dark web or investigate the secret companies that build these bot armies, speak up in the comments. Your voice is the only thing that proves the internet isn't completely dead yet. As we move further into the future, the shadow of AI will only grow larger. The simulation will become more convincing. The bots will become more human. But they will never have the spark of life that you possess. Do not let them turn you into an extension of the algorithm. Unplug when you can. Look at the stars. Talk to a neighbor. Remind yourself what it means to be alive in a world that is increasingly artificial. Thank you for being here. Thank you for being real. If you haven't yet, join the resistance by subscribing and liking this video. It is a small gesture, but in an ocean of bots, every human action counts. Stay vigilant, keep questioning, and never stop looking into the shadows. Because in a world of lies, the truth is the only thing that can set you free. This is Shadows of the Unknown, signing off, hopefully to a human audience. Until next time, stay real.